They may no longer be alive, but they still probably make more in 1 year than most of us will in our entire lives.
His look was emulated by millions. His work, one critic said, was influenced by the violence, the drugs, and the diminished opportunities of an entire generation.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 highest-earning dead celebrities.
In recent years, her good friend Michael Jackson has also contributed to Taylor's treasure chest. His gifts include this diamond bracelet, watch, and this diamond necklace.
For this list, we're looking at celebrities and famous people from any industry that have made a significant amount of money since their passing. These funds can come from licensing agreements, sales, or anything else that would generate a persistent income. We're also taking a look at the lasting legacies they've left behind and how enduring their popularity has proven to be. So we aren't simply ranking based on numbers alone.
They say normally outside of his home there are about a half dozen vans of his die-hard fans, people who actually live out here in their vans because they want to be close to this pop superstar. All of those people have moved over to the hospital.
Number 10. Albert Einstein. One of the few, if not the only, celebrity theoretical physicists of our time. Albert Einstein is known worldwide for his contributions to quantum theory and modern physics.
And therefore, E equals MC squared. Oh, Miss Mullins, come in.
His E equals MC squared formula is the go-to equation for making yourself sound smart. And his face is instantly recognizable in photos, even outside of the scientific community.
There's Einstein, who's refusing even back then to comb his hair and dressed in, sort of old coats and however he feels like it, already starting not to wear socks.
His look earns him big bucks, as licensing company Corbis owns the rights to his name and image. So every t-shirt with the famous tongue pose or Baby Einstein sold goes towards his estate. His face reportedly earned him $10 million in 2012 alone.
He put together elements of the universe that others had not imagined would fit together.
Number 9. Bruce Lee.
A good martial artist does not become tense, but ready. Not thinking, yet not dreaming.
Known for elevating the martial arts film to an art and kickstarting an intense interest for it in the West, Bruce Lee was a pop culture icon during the early 1970s.
Or don't hit back.
Before tragically dying in 1973 at only 32 years old, Lee starred in numerous films, for which he is still being paid quite lucratively today.
All these years later, people still wonder about the way he died. I prefer to remember the way he lived.
Over 40 years after his death, his films are perhaps more popular now than they've ever been, and earned Lee up to $10 million in 2014. Now, let's just pretend that we don't all try to imitate his moves when we're alone in front of a mirror.
What is that? What are you, Bruce Lee?
Number 8. Charles M. Schulz.
Charlie Brown is a nice kid. I've always said that I think I would like to have had Charlie Brown as a neighbor when I was small.
The creative mind behind Charlie Brown and Friends, Charles Schulz is commonly labeled as one of history's most significant cartoonists.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
And every Christmas when you watch Charlie Brown pick out his pathetic tree, you're watching a Sparky creation.
Snoopy's a strange little character in that I think he regards himself as being very independent, but we know that he really isn't.
Thanks to his Peanuts characters, the late Schulz is still making a fortune years after his death in the year 2000 through licensing and character rights.
I wish I were sophisticated like guys you read about in stories.
Between 2012 and 2013, he brought in a reported $37 million, proving that the Peanuts will always be cool.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Number 7. Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, here comes another one.
The sex symbol of the 50s that needs no introduction, Marilyn Monroe's image and movies have remained popular over 50 years after her death.
Baby, I'm through with love.
After overdosing in 1962 at the age of 36, Monroe's career obviously seemed over. But no one could have predicted that her popularity would continue and maybe even surpass her former glory.
Long life to your Grand Highness.
Cheerio.
Better luck next time, only not with me, of course.
In 2012, she made about $10 million from her films, and her advertisements have since become renowned. Companies like Dior pay fat stacks for her likeness in commercials, which has kept Monroe's estate comfortable all this time later. Maybe beauty isn't fleeting after all.
Good night, honey.
Honey? Hey, she called me honey. Ha! Oh, honey.
Number 6. Bob Marley. This legend of reggae, whose image was stuck on your college dorm room wall for years, is still making vast sums of money for his universal and highly cherished music.
Stand up. Don't give up the fight. I say, preacher man, don't tell me that your heaven is under the earth.
In 2012 alone, Bob Marley brought in about $17 million from record sales and other business ventures with his name, which is more money than most musical artists would even dream of making while they're alive. After being taken from us in 1981 at age 36 by cancer, Marley is still uniting the world through his music and is arguably more popular now than he's ever been, going to show how true artistic genius earns longevity and appreciation. Number 5. Elizabeth Taylor.
We must not disappoint the mighty Caesar. The Romans tell fabulous tales of my birth and handmaidens.
One of the most famous actresses of Hollywood's golden age, Liz Taylor was world-renowned for her glamorous lifestyle, her famous blue eyes, and her 8 marriages.
It's unbelievable. You bought this for yourself?
Yeah.
How nice for you. You're so good to you.
Well, there's nobody else around.
She became the highest-earning dead celebrity of 2012, earning a mind-blowing $210 million.
You can be young without money, but you can't be old without it.
This was no doubt due to her death only 1 year earlier from congestive heart failure at the age of 79, which prompted the auctioning off of her possessions, increased sales of her perfume, and more. As evidenced by the vast sums of money her passionate fans are spending, it's clear that Taylor's legacy will live on for a long, long time. Number 4. John Lennon.
You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
Often considered one of the best singer-songwriters of all time, and arguably one of the most famous, John Lennon earned recognition for his personal life, solo career, and as a prominent member of the Beatles.
I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand.
Like bandmate George Harrison, who also has sadly passed, Lennon's music has earned him great sums of money after his death. He reportedly earned $12 million in record sales in 2012, and his widow, Yoko Ono, is known for filing lawsuits to preserve his legacy.
And when I touch you, I feel happy inside. It's such a feeling that my love I can hide.
It's unclear when, if ever, the Beatles will stop selling their music. So expect Lennon to be on the richest dead celebrities list for years to come. Number 3. Kurt Cobain. Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain changed music forever in the early 90s and helped to introduce grunge and teenage angst to mainstream audiences.
The lead singer of the enormously popular rock band Nirvana is dead. Apparently, he was a suicide at the age of 27.
Before his tragic suicide in April 1994, Cobain had already amassed a large following, which continues to grow today. In 2006, his widow, Courtney Love, sold a 25% stake in Nirvana's music catalog for $50 million. Then there are the royalties from songs like Smells Like Teen Spirit that still get consistent airplay. While his audience spreads, it seems more tragic that he never realized what an influential figure he would become. Number 2, Michael Jackson. The second spot goes to the King of Pop. Known as a child star for his work in the Jackson 5, Michael Jackson made headlines across the world for his early 80s solo work, including pumping out the highest-selling album of all time, Thriller.
And it's very, very sad news, Jim Moret, and to all of our viewers. Both the Los Angeles Times and CBS News are both now reporting that Michael Jackson has died.
After tragically passing in 2009 from cardiac arrest, Jackson's music once again skyrocketed in popularity. In fact, 3 years after his passing, he ended up earning $145 million thanks to his record sales, his 50% stake in the Sony ATV publishing catalog, and more. It's safe to say that the king reigns supreme, even in death.
You are not alone. I am here with you. Though you're far away, I am here to stay.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Mom, I want to do something right. And I don't want you to run away from me again.
I hear it! They are there!
Number 1, Elvis Presley.
Well, that's all right, mama. That's all right with you. That's all right, mama. Just any way you do, that's all right.
And now, the king of rock and roll himself. Elvis Presley made waves with his upbeat, rocking music in the 1950s.
We can't go on together with suspicious minds.
With a popularity that even rivaled the Beatles, he has become the highest-selling solo artist in history, selling an estimated 600 million copies of his albums. Even now, more than 30 years after his death, Elvis's music is still outselling even the hottest artists of today. In 2012, he earned $55 million thanks to his songs, income from tickets to the Cirque du Soleil show Viva Elvis, and Graceland. But we guess that's what happens when you change music history.
What's the story with this guy? I think he's from Lithuania.
Do you agree with our list?
You're tearing me apart!
Which late celebrity do you think earns the most?
But more than a half a century later, the man and his theories continue to capture the popular imagination and to inspire.
For more lucrative top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I'll take this little tree home and decorate it, and I'll show them it really will work in our play.